Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Phil with Electrum's Project Management. Over the last few weeks, we've looked at planning and how we can use planning to optimize our production. We've looked at loading materials on the truck ahead of time in order to ensure that we don't have to make return trips to the yard. We've looked at ensuring that we have work lined up so that we're able to complete the work as effectively as possible when we are out in the field and don't have that downtime in between projects. But this week, I'd like to take a focus on how we can ensure that the plan that we create is being effectively communicated to the guys in the field. Before coming to Electricom, I spent 7 years on active duty in the Army, and we did a lot of planning and we did a lot of executing. And with that, there was a lot of different techniques that we used in order to ensure that the plan was being effectively communicated and to ensure that when we did come to the execution phase of any project, we were able to do it as close to the plan as possible, and we were able to be adaptable while we were doing that. And with that, a couple techniques. One was to ensure that while the plan was given verbally, the people also had the ability to go back and reference what the plan was. So we would put the plan in writing as well as giving it to them orally. And with that, there are different ways to give the plan in writing. Some of that is ensuring that they understand the prints that they're given and where they'll be working over the next day, over the next week, and breaking down with them what the areas are, what the focuses are on those plans, using the prints to fully understand what the plan looks like moving forward. We also used the process of having everybody was required to have pen and paper on them, so that when it did come time to receive instructions, they were able to write down what it was. That simple process of having pen and paper available to them really increased the productivity when they were executing, because they had a reference to go back to, and it minimized some of the questions coming back. Another technique that we used quite a bit was the back brief. So whenever a plan was given, we would always give the person a little bit of time to digest what it was that they were given, but then they would come back and explain what it was that they understood the plan to be. That process of back briefing really minimized a lot of errors and differences from the plan, because it gave that person time to understand what their role in that larger plan was. And then when they came back, if they misunderstood something, you would understand what their misunderstanding was, and you could correct it, or you could change your plan to fit the way that they interpreted it, because their understanding might actually be more productive than what you originally planned. Giving them time to digest it and come back to you and explain to you what it is you're looking at can really save a lot of time in the future. So it takes a little bit more time up front to sit there and have them back brief you on what it was that they were planning to do that nested within your plan, but it prevents or minimizes them from having to come back with, they get out to the field and they're no longer sure what it was that you were looking for. So they have time to ask up front rather than getting out to the field and then making a phone call, and if you're not available at that moment, the work gets delayed. So this minimizes that downtime, because they've already expressed to you that they understand what the plan is and they understand how their role within the plan falls. There are other techniques as well, but the back brief and writing down were some of the biggest pieces that I found to be very beneficial. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.